Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining today's Room Business School Career Optimization Series. And so we have our speakers on the call already. We have our very own Mrs. Kausarat Abdulkarim, who is one of the speakers for today's session. And we also have Mr. Wale Smart, who together they will be speaking to us on the topic personal branding using LinkedIn as a tool. I'm sure we are all set for an interesting session this evening, and I'm sure that it's going to be another impactful one for us, even as we have joined today. So I will not be the one moderating today's session. We have here with us our very own Omobola Joko Showemimo. She will be moderating the session today. So Omobola, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And okay, so I'd like to say Happy New Year, because this is the first learning series we're doing this year. So Happy New Year to everyone. And I'm sure the year is full of a lot of opportunities and exciting times. So welcome once again. So I'll just go to the business of the day. Okay, so this is Rome Business School Nigeria Career Optimization Series. So our discussion today is personal branding using LinkedIn as a tool. So my name once again is Omobola Joko Showemimo. I'm the HR manager for Trino Studios, and it's my pleasure to moderate today's event. So we have two top personalities from prestigious industry with us today. They are here to share with our community from their wealth of knowledge to teach or to open us to so many things. I'm excited about today's program. Please, if you're excited about today's program, please could you drop in the comment section. I want to see, I want to feel the excitement in the house. So while I introduce our special guest today. Today we have our special guest in person of Mrs. Kausara Abdulkarim and Mr. Wale Smart, who will be speaking to us today about our topic, personal branding, using LinkedIn as a tool. So I'll just read Mrs. Kausara's brief bio to us. Kausara Modupe Ola Abdulkarim is an experienced professional leader with over 16 years of hands-on experience in the human resource and administration space. Over the years, she has developed capabilities in people management, cultural transformation, competencies / career management, performance management, business partnering, employee experience, strategy, planning and execution, learning and organizational development, to mention but a few. In her current role, she oversees the human resource function of Mantrac Nigeria, the sole dealer of Caterpillar equipment in Nigeria. Before her current role, she managed the HR function of subsidiary businesses of a non-banking financial institution, where she recorded tremendous achievements and recognition for excellent people management. An alumni of the University of Wales, UK, and a graduate of organizational behavior from the University of Lagos, a distinction graduate of business administration from Lagos State Polytechnic, a member of HR Certification Institution, that's the HRCI, a full member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, a member of International Coaching Federation, ICF, both on the global and the Nigeria chapter, and a member of the Learning and Development International. Kausara is committed and a logical thinker, intuitive listener, reserved, dependable with excellent relational skills. She enjoys teaching, coaching, and mentoring. She currently serves on the board of Wise Buying Nigeria Limited, Kenneth Academy, August One Associates, and a faculty member for Vantage Certifications, a faculty member for Rome Business School, and few others. Okay, so that is brief bio for Mrs. Kausara. So we have two speakers, so I'll go to the second person, Wale Smart, a strategic business membership organization growth expert, human capital and talent management enthusiastic, and organizational development and business sustainability practitioner. He is an International Labour Organization trained master trainer. UNIDO trained ISO 9001, 2015 quality management auditor, and a certified life coach. Mr. Wale Smart has over 16 years practical and quality experience in business membership organization, human resource / industrial relation, organizational / business development, evidence-based advocacy, research, stakeholder management, and stakeholders engagement, international relation, and project management. So these are, please let's just welcome our guest speakers. It's a lot of experience they're bringing on board, and it's going to be quite interactive and engaging for every one of us. So I'll just like for us to go straight into the business. So because we had a bit of setback, but it's always, setbacks don't really matter. So I'll just go straight to Mrs. Kausara and Mr. Wale Smart to bring their wealth of knowledge to us and to talk on the topic for today. Mrs. Kausara, please, you have the floor, ma.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Bolajoko. When you mentioned a brief profile, you cracked me up when you read all my life, and you are calling that brief. Thank you for that. Thank you, Didactic team. Thank you, Rome Business School, for the invitation. And thank you, everyone on this call. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. I think it's still good time to say Happy New Year to us all. And thank you for the audience. Yes, so Bola, where and how do you want me to start?
Okay, so we could just start with telling us what is personal branding. What do you think personal branding is?
Okay.
Let's just start.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Bola. So before I start, I think I would like to charge the platform a bit by dropping an icebreaker so that we'll start this discussion on the right pedestal. So let's imagine, and I want everyone to participate. And if I can't see the response, Bolajoko, you are going to help me there. I want us to imagine ourselves, just imagine that you have a friend A now, and friend A attended an event and met friend B. And please remember that you know friend A and you also know friend B, but they don't know one another. Adeyemi Adenusi, good afternoon. I'm greeting you here too. Thank you for the greeting. So you know friend A and you know friend B. Sorry, I'm sorry, hold on. I'm going to call you back. I will call you back. Yeah. But friend A and B, they don't know each other. But they met at an event. They had opportunity to introduce themselves, to say, oh, this is my name, that is my name. And they got talking. And at the point, they got to mention, one of them got to mention your name, to say, oh, I know Kausara from somewhere. So, oh, you know Kausara, we work together. The other person, she attended my church. One said, oh, we attended the same secondary school. So I want you to use the chat room and tell me, what do you think the two of them, one common thing they will say about you? I want you to put it out there. And let's do that quickly, 1 minute, because I know we are limited by time. So you, A and B, they don't know each other, but you know A and B, but they got talking at an event and they are now talking about you. Yes, power dresser, a gay day. I'm so happy for being the first. They will call you power dresser, okay? I need to see more. Consultants, Ademola, thank you for that, consultants. Linker, Paul, yes, let's keep dropping. Thank you for that. Accommodating, Dr. K. Kena, I'm sorry if I've murdered the name. Listener, encourager, beauty, thank you. Passion driven, goal driven, oh, beautiful, friendly, beautiful, realtor. Wow, listener, socialist, hardworking, mentor. Francis, thank you. Hagwa, Ebele, supermodel, I love that. Agri and youth influencer, caring, Khadija, mentor, thank you. Resourceful, motivator. Let me stop there. Serious, Victor. I want to know how serious you are. Thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, for that contribution. Share leader, influencer. Okay, so keep dropping it. I'm going to read it after so that I won't waste much time. So what you have just done there is to just describe who you have for me, is to tell me what your brand is. That is your brand. That is who you are. Either we like it or not, we are consciously and unconsciously building a brand. Because a brand is what you build, how the perception you build about yourself, the public image you give yourself, is all the total sum of your skill and experience and your value as a person. And that's what you have described there. Different values, different experiences, different understanding about you. And this is what you are exhibiting to the public. And that is what personal branding is. Without having to look for a dictionary meaning, you've just described it. So we want to say this formally. Personal branding is a conscious and intentional effort that you yourself create to influence the public, to give the public who you are, to tell them, to describe yourself to the public as an individual. We are, as an introvert, as an extrovert, we are building a personal brand. And how does this, why is this very critical, especially for professionals? Why is this very critical? If you do it right, because a lot of people want to be a brand, but they didn't start well. They started unprofessionally. If you do this right, and if you do it the right way, it will help you position yourself as an authority in your field, either being an engineer, a mentor, a coach, a medical doctor, and an admin manager, how you describe yourself is going to give you an authority in that industry. Another thing a right personal brand will give you is to give you visibility. People will know you, people will call out for you, people will refer you. It will give you credibility. Because when you are talking about a subject and a field of knowledge and you know it quite well, you will build credibility in that field, and you'll be visible because people will see you. And also it will give you relevance. It will give you relevance. They mention your name and they know what you stand for, and they know your values, and they know your interests in the social media space. Aside that, the right personal branding separates you from the crowd. It separates you from competitor, and it also gives you the right influence. You will be in the right circle of influence because people will know you. People will invite you to occasions. People will call you. They will refer you for your product or services or for who you are. A lot of speaking engagement is happening because of what you post or who you are on social media. A lot of solution you provided as a result of what you provided in the past, and people know you can do it quite well. And they come back to you to tell you, go to this person can do it well. And at the end of the day, it gives you a larger impact. Why are we doing what we are doing? Because we want to have an impact in all our fields or areas of interest. At the end of the day, if you have the right impact, right brand, you impact your circle, you impact your relationship, you impact your network, and you impact your life. I would like to stop there to also give my brother the room. Well, good afternoon, Wale Smart. Good afternoon, and good to be here with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon again.
Yeah. Bola Joko, I yield the mic.
Hello. Yes, I'm here. Mr. Wale, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the call. Okay, so we just want you to give us a brief overview of the social media platform called LinkedIn and why you think it's crucial for us. Mrs. Kausera, she mentioned part of the importance. I was able to put down some, but from your perspective, what do you think the platform LinkedIn, what do you think it is and how crucial it is for us as professionals?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I think building on what you have said, the more you get to a point where you keep adding value to yourself, you get to a point where your level of investments in yourself is increasing. There are investments in the context of education, there are investments in the context of building a business, there are investments in the context of starting a trade, or investment in the context of preparing yourself to render a service. The more you invest, the greater the need for you to create a pattern of recognition for yourself that will not only build your capacity to deepen that service in the context of rendering, but also that will increase your credibility as a person. Now, speaking to the audience that are MBA students, I want to believe, there are so many, taking the head count now of youths in Nigeria, or taking the head count of young persons that have done a BSc, that have gone through an HND program, that have gone through a university, second degree, even MSc. You realize progressively that the MSc, the master's program, is progressively looking like a BSc program now because of the quantum of youths going for master's program. Because you finish your BSc and because you're not getting the job quickly enough. So rather than waste the time at home or go to learn a skill, most times people feel, let me go do a master's. And then you have a large pool of young persons and middle-aged persons having a master's degree. Now, the other option is to go the route of having an MBA or having a doctorate degree. Now, in the midst of that quantum, that number of doctorate degree holders or MBA holders, then it becomes more important for an individual to start creating an identity for him or herself in order to separate him or herself from the many shadows. I'll call it many shadows. Separating yourself from the many shadows so that you can be acknowledged not only for the investments that you have made in yourself, but also for the value that people think you can provide. Because on the long run, it's all about perception. Whether people see you correctly or people see you wrongly, it all boils down to their perception. And for many persons, perception is basically their reality. So for LinkedIn, I think progressively, because when you are building your personal branding and mantra, one of the things you focus on is your audience. Who exactly do I want to talk to? And progressively, LinkedIn have positioned itself, or either positioned itself, or we have all positioned LinkedIn to carry that aura of corporateness, of professionalism. I think there was Facebook before LinkedIn, and probably one or two other platforms before LinkedIn. But LinkedIn came in, and the promoters, the owners of that platform, created a platform that will not give you the whole freedom that a Facebook will give. So it restricts you, or it controls you, it directs you to a point where there are certain information that you need to fill on that platform. And the more you fill those information about yourself, about your academic qualifications, about your career, it starts resonating in your brain that, look, this is not a platform where I can download or I can post my social reels or my social pictures, where I can download or post the latest dance steps in town. But progressively, you start seeing that platform as, look, this is more of a corporate environment where corporate audience are domiciled. So if I want to engage that audience as a corporate person, as an individual, it's either I'm looking for a job, it's either I'm recruiting, it's either I want to sell something, I'm trying to build a business, or it's either I'm building a network. I'm looking for a network that will further those businesses or further my career or further those services. So LinkedIn progressively has positioned itself as that medium where if you are looking for that kind of audience, or if you want to make that kind of progress, then you have little option than to go on LinkedIn and do your stuff. And I said, it all boils down to perception. It's a perception that they had when they were building that platform. And because we all saw the brand, we all saw what they were communicating to us invariably or unconsciously, we all helped them to build that brand. So if you set up yourself appropriately on LinkedIn, then the audience you will get, will be a dedicated, predetermined audience. It's just like the way algorithm work. Algorithm work on Google, worked on most of this platform. For many of us, you notice if you click something on Google, or you search something on Google, you search a furniture company on Google, you search a furniture company, probably you do 2 clicks, furniture companies, blah, blah, blah. Then you realize that progressively when you open Google, part of the adverts that you keep seeing, that it will keep projecting to you, will be adverts of a furniture companies, because it has piqued your interest, it has piqued your most recent clicks. So it starts feeding you with those things that it perceives you as liking. And same thing for personal brands. Once you set your personal brand right, and people know you for that brand, then you progressively will be attracting that which you have proposed from beginning, without the customer, without the client knowing that you have already programmed, you have worked it from the back, and you are getting the results that you anticipate. It's just like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola will not, Coke will not sell any other thing. The Coca-Cola write-up, you see the character, you see how it is. The Pepsi write-up, you see how it is. The Nike, just do it, you can see how it is. They have built those platforms and they have created that awareness so that if you are looking for this, this is where you can get it. And same for LinkedIn. It has created an image of corporateness, an image of professionalism, that everybody that wants to, quote and unquote, survive in that environment or make rapid progress professionally or business-wise, LinkedIn provides that platform for all of them to go and trade. And that is the attraction that it has created, and that is the leverage that is giving so many individuals that are leveraging on LinkedIn as a platform to use to promote not only their career, but also to promote their business or to promote themselves as individuals.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. That was quite some depth. Okay, so just a recap. Mrs. Kausara mentioned that personal branding is telling people who you are. And I like to relate it to what Mr. Wale said, that once you set your personal branding rights, so that means once you're able to tell people who you are, you do it well, you craft it well, people or products or services would naturally gravitate towards you. So that will bring me to this conversation I want us to ask. How should I sell my brand? How should I craft my statement, my personal brand statement? So I know what LinkedIn is, the platform. I know what the platform is all about. But as someone who is not active or as a newbie, when you see a whole lot, it can get scary. You can be intimidated. But you know, it's a journey, it's a progress, and we have to take the first step. So how do I start? How do I start?
Who is that question for?
Mrs.
Bola
So,
Dogo?
do you want to help us with that? How?
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that I actually mentioned your name, ma.
Okay, sorry. So thank you so much for that question. Maybe I won't be speaking as a LinkedIn optimization expert here, but I'll be speaking to my own experience. I noticed that there are a lot of bandwagon on LinkedIn today. It's a fact that LinkedIn has become like a home for everybody. The statistics are there. As of 2022 December, we have almost 1 billion users of LinkedIn, 875 million to be precise. And also as of December 2022, the average amount of time people spend on LinkedIn is 2 hours, 27 minutes, higher than what was used in 2021. And that is the highest recorded so far. And it will also interest you to know that we have, I have some statistics here that I would love to mention specifically because of the beauty of LinkedIn, so that we'll know how critical and how important it is. On LinkedIn today, that's an interesting statistic to me. We have more men than women. When I saw it, I said, oh, really? I thought I'm seeing only women on LinkedIn. And statistic as at 2022 December is saying 32% of the time we have more men than women. I say, wow. And also, statistics is telling us that we have age brackets between 24 and 35. When you have all these statistics, I have more here that I'm going to be mentioning. You will know how do you create your audience. But it starts from why. Why are you even there in the first place? If you know why you are there, then you will now know how to describe or how to define your audience or how to pick your audience. A lot of people are on LinkedIn because I have a colleague that said, go to LinkedIn, a lot is happening there. A lot are there accidentally. But when you know why you are there, and you will be surprised to know that Fortune 500 companies is interested in LinkedIn because those are where they are getting all their requirements for shortlisting the best company, best individual, and the rest from. Also from the statistic, we have 87 million millennials on LinkedIn to show what are these people doing there? What are they doing there? If not that LinkedIn is profitable, but we don't know why you are there. You'll be there forever. A lot have been there for 10 years. A lot have been there for 15 years without even knowing their why. It is very, very important. And also interest you to know that over 90 million people, part of the 875 people are influencers, senior level management, and decision makers. So how do you display and exhibit yourself, your brand on LinkedIn? How do they see you? Who do you follow? What are you liking on LinkedIn? Because all these statistics are very important for you to know your why. And Nigeria ranked the 15th position out of 200 countries. So know we are there, almost at the top level. If you have all these statistics and you still did not know your why you are in LinkedIn, then you have to start all over. Maybe you need a mentor, maybe you need a coach, maybe you need an expert to let you know. So now going to your question to know how do I even start? The first thing is your message. You have to be authentic. And that will take me to the 5 A's of branding. How do you even brand yourself? How do you display? How do you come out to tell the world that this is who I am? So how authentic are you? Are you there because my friends are there or my colleagues are there? That's the first A, authentic. You have to be authentic When you are authentic, your audience will naturally come. An authority. What area do you want to be speaking on? What area do you want to be? What field of knowledge do you have? What's your strengths? What's your strength area? And not just being on LinkedIn and be liking. You are not posting. You are not commenting. And that you have to have an authority, an aspiration. What is the end in mind? What do you want to achieve by being on LinkedIn? Is it, do you want career? Are you looking for a job opportunity? Do you want to sell a product? Is it a search engine for you? Are you using it as a search engine? Are you looking for it to promote your company or association? You have to have that aspiration to know what is the end, what do you have the end in mind? What is the overall objective, why you are there? And then affinity. Affinity is relationship. Who will help you? Who are those people that you love exactly what you are doing? Remember, we talk about values. That's where we started from. Write out your value. How will your friend, two friends of yours, how would they describe you? Then when you know that, then you know who you will affiliate with. You know who will be in your circle. You know who will be in your network or relationship. When you know them, you know people that can influence you, and you look for them. Look for them, follow them, and then before you know it, they will be seeing your comments, they will be seeing your like, they will be seeing your posts, and before you know it, you are making the impact that you plan to make. And the last one is assistance around how do I start? What do you need? You don't know what to do. What type of picture do you need to use? What type of background do you need to do? How do you write your personal statements on LinkedIn? How do you make people see you on LinkedIn? What are your hashtags that you are using? Who do you need to call? What sort of assistance do you need? If you have all these five, and I want to call them again: authenticity, authority, affinity, aspiration, and then assistance. If you have all these, then you started already. You started already, and the end is looking fine. I would like to stop for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma. So one of the things that stood out for me, hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you loud and clear. I don't know
Hello.
if the audience can. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you too.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. So one of the things that stood out for me is when I decide to write my personal brand statement, I have to know the why I'm on any. So I want to put it across all social media, because I personally believe that LinkedIn should not just be where I'm so professional, and the other platform I'm on the extreme. No, I think I don't have to live a dual life. I don't have to live a kind of life on LinkedIn and other social media. I'm also living a different kind of life. I think that speaks to you when you mention to be authentic. So I should be authentic as Omobolajuku. Anywhere you see Omobolajuku should be Omobolajuku. So regardless of the platform. So one thing you said that stood out was, why am I here on this platform? So to my other participant on this call, why are you on that platform should be a question that rings in our ear all the time. It will help us answer a lot of questions. Thank you very much, Mark, for that. Okay, so I'd like to, okay, so really, because most of my questions that I noted down, because of our conversation, the answers are kind of interrelated, interwoven with each other, but I'll just like to bring up some peculiar questions. So Mr. Wale, this is directed to you. Are struggling with, of course, from the statistics that Mrs. Kauser read out, so it shows that there's a whole lot of people. So you find it's surprising to know that the age group, so the older generation are still in the workforce. They are still, of course, they are still in the labor market. So I'm sure that is happening because of some challenges. So what do you think are the challenges could be, and how can we deal with them?
Well, statistics don't lie. I'm an advocate of research-based advocacy. That's basically what we do. And figures don't lie as they were, except the individual that prepared them lied. So when you say there is a lot of middle-level, middle-age individuals or males spending more time on LinkedIn, you can't rule out, you can't take a problem and decide to analyze it without looking at how we arrive at that problem. If you say Nigeria have revenue problem, we have issues with revenue. It's not just about revenue. Then, well, some people say Nigeria have a revenue problem and not a debt problem. But you must have a revenue problem before you run into debt. If you have enough revenue, you probably will not borrow, except in some instances when borrowing becomes cheaper for you to invest rather than use your own fund, then you explore that option. But the consequences of lack of revenue is that you will likely borrow if you don't steal. That is basic. Now, if you look at the socioeconomic problem, socioeconomic issues that we have, it might sound funny, but the male folks are under much more pressure now. The desire, the pressure to meet up so many kind of responsibilities is having a kind of effect on the regularity or the desire to change jobs as often as possible. Because for some, you realize increased salary might be a consequence of how many times you change jobs. Because at every time you change, you probably will negotiate a higher salary. As some HR will ask, what's your last salary? Those are asking. So the propensity for you to keep increasing either arithmetically or exponentially your salary as you change job is high. So because of the pressure that the male folks are facing, then you realize they spend more time on that platform. Now, for the issue of challenges, also you can't take an individual and explain his challenge within the context of himself, but you must try and explain those challenges within the context of the environment in which the person is operating, and that's the environment in which business itself is operating. So for a business that is challenged, a business that is troubled, a business that is faced with multiplicity of taxes, a business that is faced with regulatory gangsterism, a business that is faced with so many issues that an average business owner is contending with in this environment. At the point, those businesses will either go extinct, and the more they go extinct, then the more the propensity for them to lay off staff. And the more those people are out of job, the first place to go look for a job, either to harass somebody with your CV, or either to start to beg, please, I need a job, can you help me? It's LinkedIn. You see a lot of this solicitation going on LinkedIn. People just send you, they look out for your profile, except those that are on premium. They look out for your profile, and once they get your profile, they send you a message that they need a job, you should help them with this. So it all boils down to the social problems that we have that has created the challenge that the individuals are facing. Now, how do we deal with those issues? Like also I mentioned one of the points I wanted to mention, and that is the issue of authenticity, the issue of depth. You don't have business on LinkedIn if you don't build your depth. Because somewhere along the line, the chicken will come home to roost. So all the theoretical theories that you have crammed, that you are bamboozling everybody with on LinkedIn, sometimes people will take you for those, they will take you as an expert, then they open up those opportunities to you. And because you can't deliver, you invariably destroy the credibility that you are trying to build. So for me, is first, build your depth. You know, I learned a very valuable lesson from one of my mentors, you know, and it's about this liking, you know, you like, you share, or you use an emoji. And said, look, if I want to get your attention as an influencer, and you post an article on your wall, he said, I won't just like, I will read it, I will copy that article, I'll take it to MS Word, drop it to MS Word, I will read it, I will digest it, and I'll do a bit of research on that issue you have raised. Then I will come back to your page and I'll give my own incisive comments on what you have shared. If you read that, somebody did an analysis of your analysis and it's making sense, would you give attention to that person? And he did it once, he did it twice. Somehow you notice that, look, this person, this guy has something. He doesn't just like. There's millions of like, you know, liking has become an emotional issue now. Sometimes you just like to feel good. You just like to feel good. Or because you want the person to feel good, so that it won't say, so you saw my post, you didn't like it. You like and just jump and pass. You know, it doesn't make sense. So build your depth. Authenticity doesn't happen one day. As the challenges I've mentioned, as they continue, you know, those challenges will continue, and that's the truth of it. Things will not change suddenly, you know. But as those challenges continue, the more you build your depth, the more people will start knowing you for your comments. And when you say something, even when somebody copied your write-up, people can decode and say, look, no. It's like this guy copied from this person, that this person is the one that will write something as deep as this. And these things, they boil down to the same thing she mentioned earlier, about spending time to invest in yourself, spending time to study, spending time to determine what exactly do you want to do on this platform. If you know what you want to do, then progressively over time, people will know you for it. That if you want to buy akara, just go to this person. If somebody come and meet you and say, okay, they want to buy pop-off or they want to buy buns, nobody will direct them to you because they know that, look, akara and meat pie. No, it doesn't sell meat pie. If you want akara, just go to him. He will give you the best of akara. And that is exactly how you build your brand. That's how you navigate yourself away from the crowd. And that's how you navigate yourself away from the problem. Because the problem, as I said, will always continue. There's a problem, not the finish. And that's just the truth of it. But you will have navigated yourself away from that crowd and navigated yourself away from the challenges that we are. You become part of the solution to the problem that every other person is having. You are part of the problem before, or you are affected by the problem. But because you are able to navigate yourself away from the problem, it becomes another selling point for you. And this is how I navigated myself away from the problem. And at that point, you are an expert because you have successfully rode the waves away from the challenges, which is also building your personal brand.
Thank you very, very much. In fact, you really captured it well. And one thing I am taking out is you can't afford to be lazy. You can't afford to be lazy. There has to be a level of depth. And the level of depth comes from when you do research. You see an article, you take it and you go research on it and you come back to give your own insight. So it doesn't matter. Your insight could be just a sentence. Maybe, okay, so let's say you're just starting out. It could just be a sentence. And over time, you keep building up, you keep building up, and with that, you're building credibility along the way, and people begin to know you. So you can't afford to be lazy. You can't just afford to be lazy. The knowledge is out there. It's just for us to keep digging and digging and digging. Thank you very, very much, sir. So we've actually spent a couple of minutes, and it's been a meaningful minutes that we've spent, and we've learned a whole lot. So for you to be authentic, for you to have authority, you need to know something. You can't, if you're bamboozling, you can't even bamboozle some people, because the moment you open your mouth and talk, they can tell you have this stuff or you don't have it. And it's either you have it or you don't have it at all. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you very much for your time, ma. I have learned a lot. I mean, I know that I still need some homework to go and do. To go back home and do, especially when it comes to research. I love the way Madam Kausara was just dishing out statistics for us, like, so it says a lot. Please, anyone in the audience, please, you can drop your question, or if you have a question, maybe we didn't touch an area that you're looking at, please, you can drop your question for us. So while we just, we're almost rounding up, so I would like the audience to also participate, so that it's not just the moderator and our guest speaker. Do we have anyone? You can show with the emoji raising your hand, and if not, we can continue. Okay, so okay, yes. Let me not murder this name. Okay, so please, can you just unmute Ifakachuku? Our apologies.
Okay,
Please,
good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ifakachuku Ezie.
Okay, Ifakachuku. All right.
Yes. I have a question to
Okay.
the speakers, any of the speakers. Yeah, you talked about authenticity, but somehow, I don't know, do you think that copywriting with an infusion of your own insight or your own idea, do you think it is advisable? Let's say, for instance, you want to dwell upon somebody's sentence and then from there build up to your own. Do you think that it is advisable to take like 2 lines or a sentence from the person's post and then dwell on it, giving your own insights on your own personal post? Or do you advise that it should be done under the person's comment section? Thank you.
Do you want to take that?
Well, I think that there is nothing, for me, there's nothing basically new under the sun.
Yes.
Now, what reading does, or what reading will do for you, is to broaden your perspectives. It broadens it creates a reservoir of ideas in your brain that I can pick A from what Kausara said. I can pick B from what you said. I can pick C from what the other person said. I can create a new concept, a new idea from everything that everybody has said.
Yes.
So sometimes, and even in research, formal research, it's okay. Even though if you copy, acknowledge. The error would be you copy, then you now put your name as the author. No, that is fraud. It's absolute fraud. But you can pick somebody's write-up, somebody's 1 sentence, 2 sentence, and do an analysis of that sentence, either to affirm it from your past, from your own experience, affirm it that from your own experience what it says is true, or debunk it that from your own experience what it says is not an absolute. It's not a yes or no.
No, yes.
Or the third part is you either affirm it, you debunk it, or there's a third one that you do, but still it's somebody's, but your affirmation, your debunking, your must be from something that you have seen, something that you have read, something that you have heard, and that has been verified to be true. Because if you go ahead and start murdering somebody's write-up because you just want to feel good or you just want to feel confrontational, the people discern, they discern things. They know what is correct or what is not correct. And in this part of the world, you know, the way it is, social media, don't forget. You might think you have posted something and you have moved on. The day you never expected, those things somebody will bring those things back and say, but you said this time. You know, there was a story of somebody that wanted to work in GTB. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But he had posted something, chastised GTB, said so many nasty things about GTB online. Then he went for, eventually the economic situation forced him to apply for a job in GTB. And the day of his interview, they brought out that, uncle, look at everything that you have said about this brand. Is this still correct? Is this your position still correct as at today?
I saw it.
So he has said it long ago. He has forgotten, you know, and that's how people, even in the embassy now, I heard that when you send your application, they go and check your history to know if this person has the potential to be a Taliban, or this person is history, if his history shows that it might create problem for us by the time he gets to America, he doesn't have a potential to misbehave when he leaves this country. So it becomes very important for us that we seek credibility. And I'll hang it on what Councillor said, that, you know, there's never been any time in history where you have the level of assistance that you can get from people around you.
Yes.
There's never been a time in history where you are open to a massive opportunity for assistance, for mentoring. There's never been a time in history like that. So if you don't leverage it, if you don't use it, then it will be unfortunate for the person.
So in addition to that, sorry, for Ifa Shuku, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it well. Wale has already explained, and that was HAPS. So for a practical scenario, for that question that you've asked, you can do one of three things, and you can even decide to do all the three if you like. The first is to respond on that person's chat, putting your insights. Why not? Just put your insights, put your own opinion about it. You can reshare that person's post, reshare it, you will see it, and we won't be happy about it that somebody is resharing my post. That means this had value to me or to other people that is reading it. And then share that same insight you shared, using to respond to him or her on your own, on that post of when you are resharing. And the third one is you can read, just like Wale Smart has said. Nobody's an island of knowledge. You can read in totality and then go and form your own article about it. You can even start the article by writing, oh, I read something recently about this, and you can reaffirm, just like Wale said, that person's position and what your own opinion about it. I read something on office politics. I read it was so interesting. That topic that I read, I used 3 different weeks to write my opinion about it. You can check it on LinkedIn. Just check me on LinkedIn. I used 3 different weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3. It's just one post that I read. And I changed it. I put out my opinion about it. I rename it. That rather than me calling it office politics, I want to call it office intelligence. And I share my opinion why I want to call it office intelligence. And I gave different scenario how it should be played. So you can just read something and then go and put it in a very robust article and write more about it. I hope I've been able to answer that in addition to what Wale has said. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So we have some questions in the chat room. So I'm going to read I'm going to, because of our time, I'm going to merge two of the questions together because I think it can be answered in one straight shot. Okay, so I'm on LinkedIn for a job search. How do I position myself to be seen? And the other question says, is it good to have more than one LinkedIn account? I think, well, let me leave it to my special guest. Ma, you could help us with the question.
Okay. So for the first question that I'm looking for a job, how do I position myself? Like we said earlier, authenticity. Just put yourself out there. Let me look for those things that I put here earlier. I'm coming. So for me, you just need to know. We have already talked about why. That is very, very important. After your why, the next thing for you to do is to now define who are you looking for? What type of job are you looking for? I was coaching a lady and she said she has been doing a lot on LinkedIn. She's looking to change her job. She just wants to change her job. She's in one industry. She wants to
hello, Ma. Hello, Ma. Okay, I think our network.
Our network has kind of.
Yes. Sir, could you just wrap up that
Well,
question?
as you started, through LinkedIn profiles, what do you need it for? What do you want to? You'll be needing to, if apparently we are not maximizing one, because really with the quantum of opportunities on LinkedIn, with the quantum of profile that you can build, with the quantum of things you can do on LinkedIn, if you are maximizing it, you will hardly need a second account. You hardly need a second account. So my counsel would be, stay on one. At the point I had to also request assistance from an optimizer. I had to request an assistant long ago for somebody to help me to optimize my LinkedIn profile so that it can help me to strategically position myself for my next level. And you can't, sometimes you don't know it all. You just have to be humble enough to seek for assistance. Sometimes also, those assistants, they might not come cheap or they might not come free. You also should be willing, to commit a bit of your resources to building that profile. You must be able to answer the question, the why of your question. Why am I on this platform? So what you do on that platform will be influenced by your why. I said there are massive opportunity on that platform. Fortune 500 companies are on that platform. The best brands are on that platform. The biggest influencers in the world professionally are on that platform. And it gives you opportunity to connect and also connect seamlessly. Another opportunity you can use is the premium members. There are different kinds of membership on LinkedIn. You have the free membership that everybody does. And then you have the premium membership where you pay a token, an average of 15 to, depending on the four different premium package that you want. Between 12,000 to about 30-something thousand per month. Now, someone might look at it and say, that is too expensive. Why will I pay 10,000 per month for something that everybody is getting for free? Now, it depends on what exactly you are looking for. Because with the premium account, I can directly send messages to key influencers. I can directly send messages to key people that ordinarily, with the free LinkedIn account that we use, we are not able to get across to those people. And as part of your personal branding, it also shows that this person that could commit some level of funds to get into the premium brand, that means this person understands exactly what he's looking for within the context of this community. That would be my counsel and my advice. So stick to one, optimize it. It's not it's not WhatsApp that they will say, you say the number of your contact, you've exhausted number of your contacts, and you want to now you want to open another account because of your contacts that has been, you've reached the maximum of your contacts. You can still maximize that one account, build everything you want to build, personal profile, your business profile, and then it becomes easy for you to manage, and it becomes easy for people to locate you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Didiatic, we would need you to bring in Madam Kausara. So we've hit the 100 limits, so she can't join. So please kindly allow her join, because she's trying to log in back into the room. Didiatic. Hello, Didiatic. I need to be sure one of you heard me.
Yes, we are with you.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. So, Ademola, you've been raising your hand for quite some time. Do you want to take the floor?
Yes, ma'am. I want to take a section right now. Like a question I want to ask, and I don't know if that's okay.
Please, you can. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So I've been following from the beginning, and I want to ask a question. And the question is, how about building a brand? And for example, in Nigeria, there are some career path that you really want to build, and you want to streamline it to a specific area of that career path. For example, music. In music, we have a couple of aspects. So you want to build a particular aspect. So how do you create a niche for yourself? And of course, using LinkedIn. What people know is music, it's free, and you want to do your own in a special way. That's just an example though. So in a kind of career path that is not well recognized in this part of this country, how do you build such a brand? Thank you.
Okay, if are you still there?
We're with you, sir.
No, I mean the person asked the question. Is he still online?
Yes, he's still online, sir.
Okay, I want to just, if I ask you that I want to organize a party where all I want to do is just praise God in that party. Like, can you recommend a musician for me? Who would you recommend?
Sorry, am I supposed to answer that question?
Yes, he's directing the question to you.
Oh, great. Oh, great. So, I would just probably, depending on my community or target audience, I might just want to call Tope Alabi, Fred.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Now, if I tell you that, look, I want to organize a very rash party, a very, the people I want to gather together with the guys, pardon my language, area boys. Those are the ones I want as the audience. Those are the ones that are coming. Who should I invite as a musician? Who should play for us that everybody will feel high?
I'd rather say Zazu, Rapala, and the likes.
You mentioned Zazu, but so Zazu that is in my head. Now, I have not mentioned any musician to you. I have only mentioned the kind of event I want to organize, right?
Sure.
Now what influenced your choice? Because of time.
Because of the
what influenced your choice, just tell me I'm right or wrong, is the message that they've been communicating, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's strictly the message. So same for you, if you want to build your brand, it might be difficult at the beginning, and with the community that you have, if you're a member of if you're an alumni or member of the Room Business School, there's about 97 students on this platform. So you can't tell me rightly that you don't have a community already. You have a community. You're welcome back, Kasara. You have a community of 98 persons, 98 individuals that can either listen to your music, and you can get 50% of them to help you to share that your message. So strictly the difference in all this communication, whether Zazu, whether Tokyo Adabi, whether whoever, it is their message. It's the message that they are communicating. And same for you. Once you stick to that message, you know, I remember long ago, pardon me, long ago, I was very young then, the first time Lagbaja came on stage, it's quite long ago. The first time he came on the stage to perform, I can tell you that that guy, he was stoned away from the stage. At that point, his kind of music was like, what is this? You know, he was stoned from the stage. But somewhere along the line, he created his own brand. That look, you cannot get this music in the market space. You can't just go out. You can't. It's not the popular music you get everywhere. He created his own brand, and in a few years, Lagbaja became a sought-after kind of musician. So for you also, define your message. Once you define your most potent, your most powerful tool is your message. Once you define your message and you identify the audience that needs that message, then you continue to share that message, you continue to share it consistently. And then before you know it, people know you for that kind of brand of music. And in this country, I can tell you, except you don't have anything to sell, anything you want to sell in this country, there is a market for it. So the work you have to do is to search out that market that needs the product that you want to sell. You know, it will surprise you. I'm not saying Zazu song is bad, but if you see the audience, the crowd, the mass of people that are following that music, you know, you will ask yourself whether you are okay. That, look, am I okay? Because if a lot of people are following this thing, what exactly is the issue? So get your message right, determine your audience. As I told you, you cannot say you don't have an audience. No, you have your low-hanging fruit. Over 90 students, 90 alumni on this call, they become your first audience that can willingly or emotionally help you to promote the message that you have. And before you know it, it becomes a global message that everybody will listen to.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And Madam Kausar, you're welcome back. Okay, so we've actually overshot our time, and there's still one more question, but I think that question, so let's practice what we've been taught, how to maximize our presence online. So someone is asking for the 5th A of branding again. Okay, so Madam Kausar, you mentioned the A's for us, authenticity, authority,
aspiration, affinity, and assistance.
And so both of our guest speakers are actually the presence on LinkedIn. Trust me, they have strong presence because I know them. And let's just take a step forward to practice the things we have learned here. And trust me, we're going to benefit a whole lot from it. So on the final notes, we'll just want a word of encouragement from both of our speakers as we round up the session. So I think, Madam Kausar, let's start from you, Ma.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm sorry for that interruption. So before I give my final notes on this topic, I would just like to close what I was saying. I'll make it very, very short. Is if you are really looking for a job, follow the company that you want to join. Follow that company, and when you follow the company, you will see the network, somebody that you know that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, that you will not even know that you have attended the same university or the same secondary school together. Before you know it, you will connect with somebody that will connect you to the job. So let me close it from there. So I would also like to close this session with a 4 quotes that says, it is not the numbers of people that you interact with daily that determines your personal brand. And it's not that same number of people that determines your LinkedIn success, your like or everything. It is the depth of that relationship that you build, your consistency and the clarity of your message that you push out as an individual. And I would love to hear from that note. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Mr. Wale.
My counsel, avoid the social media pressure, avoid profile pressures. There are so many scams even on LinkedIn. They give you, they make you feel less of yourself if you are not careful. If you are not careful, you start having imposter syndrome, wondering and thinking, wait, are you doing well within the context of what people are posting or the stories that they are sharing? Most times, those stories are fluffy stories, they're spurious stories. Just stick to the principle. Don't shortcut the process. Go through the process. That is how you build depth. That's how you build credibility. And that's how you build authenticity. So stick to the process and avoid profile pressure. They can make you do things you ordinarily would not want to do. And I wish you all the best also.
Thank you very, very much. It's been an interactive and quite engaging and insightful session for us. The whole lot has been reiterated and we've learned a couple of new things. So thank you very, very much. I'd like Mr. Christopher Lawal from the Rome Business School team. They have one or two things to just share with us. So thank you to our speaker, Madam Kausara. Thank you very much. Mr. Wale, I know you're in a tight place because you're on trip and we had to bring you out. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. Thank you so much, Ma. Every time we call, you always answer us. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. So I'll hand over the session to Mr. Christopher Lawal. Thank you. You're muted, Christopher Lawal. Kindly unmute.
Oh, sorry about that. All right. Thank you so much, Mobola Joko, for the powerful moderation. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kausar. That was a powerful insight into personal branding. And thank you, Mr. Wale Smart, also for sharing your thoughts and insights. And for our own business school, what we do here is to basically equip professionals with the skill sets they need to thrive and take on the challenges of the 21st century business place. We have various masters that cut across different industries. Okay, so the beautiful thing about the master's program is that it's very flexible. 2 weekends every month, of course, for the executive programs, and for the international masters, 3 times in a week, okay, in the evenings from 5 to 7. All right, and at the end of the master's program, for whichever program you're considering, you definitely be getting a double certification that are internationally recognizable and globally acceptable. Okay, that gives you an edge in the industry of your choosing. All right, and another interesting thing is the fact that the career service, which we have here, is going to guide you through the duration of the program. They're taking into consideration your midterm goals, your short-term goals, to see how to help you actualize your dream. And the didactic methodology ensures that you have practicality in respect to your teachings, and of course, case study based that gives you insights into business, real life business situations that helps you also in your job role, of course, in your business. And the international exposure through our study tour and boot camps. Presently, okay, so we'll enjoy you to become part of the community, and you can reach out to our advisors okay? Or you can send us a mail at info@romebusinessschool.ng, okay, where we'll be ready to guide you through this journey and of course, get you on board for the master's program. And at the moment, we have what we call the Business Leadership Development Program. This is to engage those students that have enrolled and those coming prior to the commencement of the program in March 2023, because the March 2023 intake application is currently on. So we are equipping global business leader, and the pre-master's activities keeps you engaged. And what we have here is one of those activities that keep our students engaged, those just coming on board, and of course, our prospects, you understand? So we look forward to having you on board. So on the final note, I must say that if you want to go further and you want to go faster, you definitely need a 6th gear, and the masters, getting the masters in Rome Business School, we definitely give you that edge. Thank you so much, speakers and the moderator. So over to you now, Justina. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone on this call. I really want to appreciate our dear speakers on the call. It was such an insightful session. I'm sure that everyone on this call has taken home, lots of tips on how to further position ourselves, even on the platform, on the LinkedIn platform. So I want us to drop our appreciation. I really want us to engage that chat box. Drop your appreciation. I want to see your appreciation before our speakers log out of this call. I want us to drop our appreciation. How much? I'm sure we all got insights, lots of insight from the session. So I really want to see our appreciation on that platform. And also, since we are talking about LinkedIn, you can also do well to drop your LinkedIn profile, connect, so that you can also, our speakers are here. I'm sure Mrs. Kausara, you might want to also drop your profile so that a student can connect with you. I'm sure many are already interested in doing that. And also same for Mr. Wale. I'm sure they really like to connect with you on that platform. So thank you all. Thank you so much. I really want to use this opportunity again to thank our dear speakers. Mrs. Kausara, thank you so much for always, coming to us whenever we call on you. Thank you so much, Ma, for the great insights that you have shared also. And also, Mr. Wale, thank you so much for joining us on the call and sharing great insights with us. Also, I want to appreciate our moderator, Omobola Joko. Thank you for that powerful moderation session. Thank you so much. So on behalf of our country director, in person of Dr. Humphrey Akanazu, and also our Dean, Professor Ragusa Antonio, we want to appreciate everyone for joining this session again. We look forward to more sessions with us. Thank you all for joining. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. All right, bye. Thank you, Ma.